in week number 2, November the 6th. We're reading Mark 7 and Psalm 7. Mark 7 and Psalm 7. And I don't know if you read them yet today. I read them today. I was in the car on my way back here, back home from Del Rio, and got to go install a pastor up in Uland and then also down in Del Rio, and then back here. So did about 887 miles in the last 48 hours. So I was still in the Word though, because I had my Bible reading to me in the car, at least when I had cell signal for part of the trip too. And I was thinking about getting ready for next weekend and thinking about what the readings were this week. So I had a joy reading the Psalms for this week, and now I'm going to go back and read them again. I read them this morning, the Psalm 7, which connected in part with Pastor's sermon this weekend, thinking about how we have a God, both with a God who has mercy in Psalm 6 and a God who is just in Psalm 7. And one of the really cool things is I heard one of the podcasts I subscribe to. I was scrolling through them, listening to other things after I read through the readings this week, or had them read to me, and it was talking about Psalm 7 too. And I thought, that's really cool that happened to be talking about Psalm 7 the same day we're reading Psalm 7, same day after Pastor talked about it as well this weekend. So Psalm 7's got a lot of great things in it, and I appreciated what the reader or the commentator on it was. It was, I think it was the podcast Through the Old Testament. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was, I do remember who it was. It was Chad Bird who was talking about it, and kind of talking about how what the psalmist says here in Psalm 7, like, do you ever really pray that? Like, look at this. He says, and let me read a part of it. Lord my God, I seek refuge in you. Save me from my pursuers and rescue me, or they will tear me like a lion, ripping me apart with no one to rescue me. I get that part. Deliver me, help me. And then he says this, verse 3, Psalm 7. Lord my God, if I have done this, if there is injustice on my hands, if I have done harm to one at peace with me, or have plundered my adversary without cause, may an enemy pursue and overtake me. May he trample me to the ground and leave my honor in the dust. I love that. Kind of search me if I have done this, if these accusations are true, come after me. I deserve your justice. And then look what he continues on, verse 6. Rise up, Lord, in your anger. Lift yourself up against the fury of my adversaries. Awake for me. You have ordained a judgment. Let the assembly of peoples gather around you. Take your seat on high over it. The Lord judges the peoples. Vindicate me, Lord, according to my righteousness and my integrity. Ooh, there's another one. Vindicate me according to my righteousness and my integrity. Ooh. Let the evil of the wicked come to an end, but establish the righteous. The one who examines the thoughts and emotions is a righteous God. My shield is with God, who saves the upright in heart. God is a righteous judge, a God who shows his wrath every day. If anyone does not repent, he will sharpen his sword. He has strung his bow and made it ready. He has prepared his deadly weapons. He tips his arrows with fire. Oh, boy, that's a really poignant description there. See, the wicked one is pregnant with evil, conceives trouble, and gives birth to deceit. He dug a pit and hollowed it out, but fell into the hole he had made. His trouble comes back on his own head. His own violence comes down on top of his head. I will thank the Lord for his righteousness. I will sing about the name of the Lord Most High. The Lord is righteous. I love that's one characteristic we can always count on for him in Psalm 7, that prayer for justice that David prays. We don't really know the situation around who this Benjamite Cush is that he wrote it against, but we do know that David cries out to God for that justice and crying out to God for justice, knowing that in the end he is the just one, the only just one. And so we are grateful that, yes, there is justice in the end. His rule, his word reigns and will accomplish its purpose. But we also thank God at the same time that he shows us mercy, a just God with mercy in his hand in abundance. So as we are convicted, as justice convicts us, we plead not for our righteousness, but for the righteousness of Christ and the mercy that's there in abundance. I pray that this week 2 of the Bible Binge is going well for you. We always got more bookmarks. Make sure you check out the Bible Binge website at stpaultexas.com/Bible Binge. Bible Binge. Resources are there. These videos are there. More videos from that help explain maybe what you're reading. If you want to dig in a little bit deeper, encourage you to ask those questions. Teach me, fill me, change me, use me. How is that word at work? It's been great hearing from you as you've been sharing on social media, as you've been telling us in person, as you've been calling, as you've been texting, as you've been emailing. as you've been messaging. I think those are all the different ways I've been hearing how this word, and just in this first week, has been an important one to you. And I think we're going to see even more in the weeks ahead, what God is going to do through that word. Looking forward to this weekend and being back with you in worship, and talking a little bit too. We're going to go into Mark, and where we're going to be right about where our reading will be this weekend. We're right around Mark 12 and Mark 13. Some important stuff there in light of our world around us. In fact, it's something I was reflecting on as I was driving back, but I don't want to give you all that yet. Maybe I'll share a little bit more closer we get. But praying for you. God bless you on this day. Bible Binge, week 2, day 1 of week 2 for November the 6th, Mark 7, Psalm 7. We'll see you tomorrow morning with, guess what? Mark 8 and Psalm 8. Math. It's part of our Bible Binge too.